Okay, this video is about how to collect a prisoner, how to open a cell, how to collect a key, and show messages. Now I've done all this before in my previous videos, but now I put it all in one video here. I'm trying to put it in one video and explain it. And let me show you how it's done. So message comes up. It's basically hinting to me about walls, and there might be something behind the wall or something, inside the wall anyways. So I'm trying to collect him. He's one of the prisoners I need to collect. So told me there's hidden walls. So I'm gonna try to find hidden walls to collect something. And there's one right there. And there's the cell key. You see the cell key down there on the right hand side of the bottom where the knife's at. Opens up. There's a sound. Opens up. Thanks for saving me. Hope you find your way out. It shows a little picture of him. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So a couple of things happened here. There was a message that popped up. Well, that was the second one. The first one says, "Look for a hidden room. Sometimes there are items within." And there's a face of the character, and it's actually my character. They just modified this online or whatever. His face, anyways. So. And like I said, all this I've done before in the past, but it's done in all in one video. So the size here, the width 232, the height is 102, and then the crosshair is way in the corner there. Origin X0, Y0. Okay, so how that message is done is there's a line. There's two lines here that I cross. One of the lines pops up a message here, and I will show you in the rooms here where I'm at. So I'm actually in this area right here. So pretty much defeated all the bad guys here. I removed the bad guy, but you can put them in there if you want. It's in the objects. You can drop them in if you want, but I removed him there. But actually, I killed him here. I went down this hallway here, and there's ice here. There, of course. I've already talked about the ice on the ground. I deactivated the fireball that comes out of the wall. But right here, this is where I'm at. And so you have these yellow lines here on the ground, which are invisible. This is the cell door that's open for this area here where I grabbed the key here in this hidden wall. This is the character that walks back and forth. He hits against this bumper here, and then basically goes left and hits this bumper and goes right, back and forth, just like I did the monster, back and forth. Okay, so this first yellow line is called crossover first. So when my character crosses over on this yellow line, okay, it's going to create an instance. So go to add event, go to collision, do my character object player. Then you're going to do main one tab. You're going to drop over a create instance, and then you want to find message 2, X and Y origins at 0 there, because you want it pretty much centered. You don't need a relative checked. So it's going to pop up a message 2 once I cross that line, once I cross that crossover first line, And that message 2 is going to be this message here, which talks about, so the guy talks about there could be hidden rooms within walls, basically. That's what he's hinting at. And so there's a hidden room which has items in it sometimes, so that's what he's pretty much saying. So like I said, you can do that if you want in your prisoners. You can not only have a message saying thanks for saving me, you can also have messages that give you hints within the game to do certain things in order for you to move on throughout the game. So that's a good idea if you want to do that, versus just having a message come up and saying thanks for saving me and then move on to the next prisoner. And so that's one way to get all your people to play the game. You say, oh, okay, I'll try to find a wall that's you go through and pick up an item. So you can do something like that if you want. Okay, so that message 2, you do the create event and add event there, create. Then you drag over a timer in the main 2 tab. I set mine to 150. This is how long the message is going to pop up on screen. You can do this, you can put 100 number of steps in there if you want to make the message go faster, but I did it 150 so you really actually read it pretty much, and then it will go away. You could put a X on one of the messages and just click on it to get rid of it, but then you have your mouse come up on screen and you don't want that. So I just did a timer, so you get to read it for so many seconds, and then it's going to be destroyed, or it could be deactivated. So after 150 milliseconds, alarm 0 is going to kick in, and it's going to then it's going to basically, you're going to destroy the message, set itself, and you're also going to destroy the crossover line that's on the ground, because you don't want to keep going over the crossover line and it keeps popping up the message, especially if you already collected the prisoner. So once you cross over the line that's invisible and pops up the message, go ahead and destroy that crossover line that's on the ground that's invisible, because otherwise you can keep going over the crossover first and it's going to keep popping up the message, and you may already have collected the prisoner. Or actually, if you wanted to, you could wait until after you collect the prisoner and then destroy the hidden message if you want. It's up to you, but I would destroy it sometime after you either collect the prisoner or after you cross over it the first time. Alright, and then you have a draw event, and that event there, then you drag over a in your control tab, drag over a coded sheet, and you're going to say draw sprint index, image index 200 200. So this basically centers it on screen for the most part. And also, like I said, the crosshairs are right up at the top there. So if you move these crossover hairs in the in the center, or somewhere over here, then it could potentially be off on screen. So I just left them up at the corner there, and just let the draw event draw it in the center at 200 by 200, because that's, you just have to play around with these numbers to get it exactly where you want it at for the most part. Alright, and then I set the depth at -1000, so it's in front of everything. Alright, and then there's another crossover. There's another line that you cross over. It's called object cross line 2. So this, when you cross over this line, the message will pop up saying thanks for saving me, and then the prisoner will be deleted and the message will go away. But you can't cross over this line until you actually open the door to the cell. And the cell door looks like it's open, but it's really not. This is like a placeholder here, because if I don't have a placeholder over here, if I don't have a placeholder here, then when I open the cell door, it doesn't actually go in this direction. It doesn't come in this. It doesn't go in this direction. It's way off. So I had to make a placeholder for the cell door when it opens up, so that way I know exactly where it's going to go at when it opens up, so I don't get stuck too. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But So the crossover line 2 is right here, and I did a origin 4 at X, Y 16, and the crossover first is actually 16 by 4. So this basically, so I can plot it using these coordinates here. It pretty much snaps into place where I want it at. So back to object cross line 2. So when my character crosses over the cross line 2, when the cell door is finally open, it's going to produce, new message at X and Y 00, no relative checked. So new message is going to be this message here, where it says thanks for saving me, hope you find your way out soon. Origin 0, Y 0, still in the corner there, same setup as the new message 2. And I made the prisoner like very vague. I didn't give him any features because, I mean, you can if you want, but then if you don't give him any features, then you could have the same prisoner walk back and forth. Well, I would say you would have to duplicate prisoner walk right, walk left. When you do another prisoner, you have to duplicate these boxes to make another prisoner. But you could make another message and then change the face to something else. But just keep the vagueness of the prisoner, which is in textures here. See, I made him very vague. He has no physical features whatsoever. So that way I can use the same image for multiple prisoners. But like I said, you could make a message for each prisoner if you wanted to, but then change the face. You know what I'm saying? So you could change the face in here. You could have the same text if you wanted to, but just change the face in here to something else. So it looks like you're saving, different people. But you can make the prisoner very vague, like I said in the sprints here. Have them walk in there. And what I did, I just downloaded I couldn't really get the walk sequence done by memory, so I just went online and got an image and imported it into my Photoshop, and then I just basically drew on top of the image. So you can do that if you're not really a good artist or whatever. I mean, or even if you are, you know what I'm saying, you can just take a random image online that's like a walking sequence, and you can like color on top of it to make it your very own. So I wouldn't copy someone else's idea. I wouldn't just download an image and use their idea because it's kind of copyrighted. But you can use it as your benefit by drawing on top of it to make it your very own. So this is what I did. I just needed a walking sequence of some random person online, and I just colored on top of it to make it my very own. So that's what I did. Alright, and then this character, like I said, the crosshairs at the very top there, and it's just a walking sequence here. And I have him going left, and then I have him going right. Because like I said, he goes from left to right when he bounces on the pink squares there. Same setup with the monster that moves right and left that I talked about before. Then you have the keys. This is what you collect the key here. Then you have the key that you collect when you collect the key. It goes in the purple box. And then one that has nothing there. Alright, so let me go back real quick. So I'm kind of going over this kind of briefly and quickly because my camera can only, I think, hold up to 30 minutes. But like I said, I talked about this before in the past. Also, you have a new placeholder that opens. So basically you have a placeholder up at the corner here that's red, placeholder 3, and then when you collect the key in here, then the red will turn to green, and once it's green, once that green placeholder hits this cell door, it will open up. And like I said, I talked about that before too. But let me go back. Let's see. So now, when I collect this blue box, which is the cell key, alright, when I collect that, it's going to play the sound of gaining a coin, gaining the key, and it's going to switch object key out to object show cell key. So what that's talking about is the these images here where you have a box that's purple that has nothing in it, and then you have object show key, so then it switches to you have the key. And when that happens, it also switches the object placeholder from doing nothing to doing something once you hit the cell. So it's going to switch nothing in the box to having the key in the box, the purple box, say yes, and it's also going to switch the placeholder from being red to going green and saying yes. And then when it goes green, then when you get close to the cell that's locked, the door will open because you have the key now. So that's what this is, the main thing that makes it happen, where it opens up. So once you collect the key, then your placeholder that's red that doesn't do nothing will turn green, and then when the green hits the cell door, it'll open up. And then you will also want to destroy you want to destroy the key. So when you collect the key, you destroy the key as well. You don't want to have the key still there on the ground. And then you do a draw event, and you say all this information. So all this information is basically drawing the key in that room, showing the key, blinking. So I've talked about that before. It just makes it 3D. When you go around the key, it looks 3D. But you really can't go around it too much because I made the areas kind of small. But it will do that. That's what this code's doing. You know, show the key, the sprint key to collect, and that's going to be that sprint image in here. So sprint key to collect. It'll show this animate, blink back and forth, and that's what this variable does. You do the image speed at 0.1, so that makes the blinking happen, go slowly, and that variable is going to be in the control tab. Alright, and then I have the character here. The character's down here. Prisoner walk right. So once the prisoner walks right and hits that pink box, it's going to bounce and make the prisoner go left. Say yes. Then the draw event. This is actually drawing the character going right. And the sprint in here in the folder. So he goes right. Do a crate. Do a direction of 270, speed 1. This will make him go in the right direction. I talked about this before. This 270 is actually going down in the 2D world, but we're dealing with 3D world, so 270 would make him go right at 1 speed. Then do a variable, image speed 0.1. This will make the animation go slower of him walking. And the depth's -10. Then you do the same thing for him going the other direction, left. But you have this set up to going 90 at speed 1, so he's actually going left, even though it says 90. In the flat 2D world, he'd be going up, but we're dealing with 3D, so he's actually going left at 90 speed direction at speed of 1. Variable slows down the animation, hits the bouncing box, and he goes in the right position. Remember, at the right, when he hit the bouncing box, he goes left. So this one, he's going right. Say yes. Do the draw event, but he walks left, not right this time. graded this information out, so I guess when you get too close to him, he won't actually rotate around to make him look 3D, because you don't need that. But like I said, I had it set up where once you show the message, and after the message goes away, then he pretty much, well, actually he's deleted after the message pops up of saying thank you for saving me. Then he is deleted, but he's actually he left the cell, you know what I'm saying? So you don't get too close to him, so he rotates around, or he won't rotate around because it's graded out. -10 on the depth, and then the bounce is solid but not visible, and then the bounce doesn't do nothing. It stays in the middle, speed 0. So this will make the character hit the bounce and move the other direction, and then bounce and move the other direction, going right and left. And I think that's everything I talked about. I think that's everything. Oh, and then the placeholder here. So the object placeholder 3, that's red, that doesn't do anything. This is drawn around the player. That should actually say object. This is kind of wrong. It should say object. It should say object player, because I'm object player, not end player. End player is in the second room. So then the circle is going to be around the object player at speed of 0, length and place is 0. You don't need it saying anything. You don't want it to spin. You have the step event in there, and this needs to say object player, not end player. So this is going to be around the character at all times. So when you're moving, this thing will move. But like I said, it doesn't do anything because it's you haven't collected the key yet. And then when you collect the key, it will turn green, which you can't see because it's not visible, but it will actually physically do something then. See, now I have it set to object player. If I had this set to object end player, it wouldn't be following me, and it wouldn't open the cell door. So now, yeah, it's following me now. This is correct. And the step event, yep, object player. So now both of them are following me now. So like I said, make sure this object player closed 3 is in the room. It is. It's way in the corner there. You can't see it. It's way up here. It's right here. See, it's this one right here. You only need the one. It's this one, but you can't see it down below because it's cut off. But you just need one in there, which is the placeholder 3. Red. Don't put the green one in there because you haven't collected the key yet. So just put the red in there. And then when you collect the key, then this red will turn green, but this will actually physically be on the character. This will be around the character when you start the game. It's just up in the corner there. But once you collect the key there, then the red circle that's around the character will turn green. You won't see it, of course. And once you touch the cell door, it will open up. It will actually switch. So, all right. So then, when you hit the cell, I think one more thing to talk about is the cell door. So the object cell, here. The object cell is actually in the background. So you have the object cell that's locked. It's just a ping file that I imported in here, so it's transparent. Then you have this is a cell this is just a cell. Then you have the cell door with the key. 128 by 128, same size as the wall. And then make sure it's set to object wall basics, so when you hit against it, you don't go through it. Background, get texture, cell area. That's the cell itself. This right here is a cell. Which one there? That's a cell there. That's a cell there. Cell. Then this is a cell door. Cell door, which is in transparent. Alright, so the cell door itself, see, once it hits the green placeholder, it's going to switch object cell not to object cell. And that's talking about this. This is object cell not. So this is a placeholder which is invisible. So once I once I have the green placeholder, once I hit that cell door that's locked with the key, it's going to delete that one, or actually switch it from being closed to being open. So it's going to switch it from here to there. And like I said, I need this as a placeholder, which is not visible, because if I don't have this placeholder here for this cell door to be open, once I destroy or you can destroy the cell door and not show it open, but that's kind of stupid. You want to actually show the door open. So it's going to switch the door being closed to being open right here once you have the key and its green placeholder. Once that green placeholder hits that cell door that's locked, because you have the key now, it's going to switch that locked door to open right here. See, it's going to switch it. That's what's happening here. It's going to switch it being it's going to switch the door from not to being open. The not means it's not there, not visible, but it needs to be a placeholder, which that's what it is. It's a placeholder for the cell door to be open. And say yes, and then it's also going to destroy the key. So it's going to switch the key that you had in the purple box to being not there anymore. Then you want to destroy self, which you're going to destroy this cell. You're going to destroy the cell door, which is this right here. This will be destroyed, but then it'll be switched to being open, which right here in this location right here at an angle is going to be the placeholder for that door to be open.